Hello world, this is Maurice Marbury of Mo Better Publishing Productions LLC in connection with I Deserve a Deal. Today I'm going to talk to you about the reviving of Black Wall Street. The best description of Black Wall Street, or Little Africa as it was also known, would be to liken it to a mini Beverly Hills. It was the golden door of a black community during the early 1900s, and it proved that African Americans had successful infrastructure. That's what Black Wall Street was all about. The dollar circulated 36 to 1,000 times, sometimes taking a year for currency to leave the community. Now, starting in 1995 and in 2015, a dollar leaves the black community 4 days before the employee even receives their check. As far as resources, there were black PhDs residing in Little Africa, black attorneys and doctors. One doctor was Dr. Berry, who also owned the bus system. His average income was $500 a day. A hefty pocket change during 1910, huh? That's a lot even during 2015. During that era, physicians owned medical schools. Black physicians owned their own medical schools. There were also pawn shops everywhere, jewelry stores, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, and 2 movie theaters. It was a time when the entire state of Oklahoma had only 2 airports, yet 6 blacks owned their own private airplanes. It was a very fascinating community. The area encompassed over 600 businesses and 36 square blocks with a population of 15,000 African Americans or indigenous people. And when the lower economic Europeans looked over and saw what the black community created, many of them were jealous. When the average student went to school on Black Wall Street, he wore a suit and tie, or she wore a dress, because of the morals and respect they were taught at the young age. The mainstay of the community was to educate every child. Nepotism was the one word they believed in. And that's what we need to get back to in 2015. The main thoroughfare was Greenwood Avenue and was intersected by Archer and Pine Streets. From the first letter in each of those names you get G-A-P, and that's where the renowned R&B music group, the Gap Band, got its name. They're from Tulsa. Black Wall Street was a prime example of the typical black community in America that did business. There were over 28 black townships there. A lot of blacks owned farmland, and many of them had gone into the oil business. The community was so tight and wealthy because they traded dollars hand to hand, and because they were dependent upon one another as a result of the Jim Crow law. Look at it today, the Jim Crow law is back. Please read the book, Modern Day Jim Crow. It was not unusual that if a resident's home accidentally burned down, it could be rebuilt within a few weeks by neighbors. This was the type of scenario that was going on day to day on Black Wall Street. When blacks intermarried into the Indian culture, some of them received their promised 40 acres and a mule. And with that came whatever oil was later found on the properties. In today's times, as always, knowledge is our oil. To know how is our oil of today. Money is power. Knowledge is power. Just to show you how wealthy a lot of black people were, there was a banker in a neighboring town that had a wife named California Taylor. Her father owned the largest cotton gin west of the Mississippi River. When California shopped, she would take a cruise to Paris every 3 months to have her clothes made. There was also a man named Mason in nearby Wagner County who had the largest potato farm west of the Mississippi. When he harvested, he would fill 100 boxcars a day. Another brother not far away had the same thing with a spinach farm. The typical family then was 5 children or more, though the typical farm family would have 10 kids or more who made up the nucleus of the labor. Again, nepotism. The money stayed in the house. On Black Wall Street, a lot of global business was conducted. The community flourished from the early 1900s until June 1st, 1921. In 1910, our forefathers and mothers owned 13 million acres of land at the height of racism in this country. So the Black Wall Street book and videotape proved to the naysayers and revisionists that we had our act together and still can today. Our mandate now is to begin to teach our children about our own ongoing black holocaust. They have to know when they look at our communities today that we did not come from this. Running the grass down to the dirt, turning our communities into hoods and turning our neighborhoods into blocks. That's not where we come from. One of the things that keep a people down is dwelling upon the wrong thing in and of the past. Notice I said the wrong thing of and in the past, meaning there is nothing wrong with dwelling upon the past, even the negative aspect of the past, as long as we are investigating on how not to make the same mistakes, i.e., learn from the error and how to make it better is the key to dwell upon the past. Before Black Wall Street, we as a people were groomed to not have and to accept the complacency and lack of our right to pursue love, life, and the constant pursuit of happiness as our mandate from our Creator, and that which has been accepted and passed down to us in the Constitution of the United States of America. We in today's times have fallen into this misdirection in schooling because we don't dwell upon what we need to of our past in order to understand that we are still a great people. We in today's times have fallen into this misdirection in schooling because we don't dwell upon what we need to of our past in order to understand that we are still a great people, capable of doing well beyond what we are told we cannot do, and touching what we are told is uncontainable. From creation onward, Babel, a tower that was built higher than skyscrapers of today, pyramids, Silk Roads, the land of Ur, Morocco, the conquering of Spain, the Underground Railroad, the survival of slavery, Buffalo Soldiers, Tuskegee Airmen, Black Wall Street, Collective Minds, LLC, history. Welcome to Collective Minds, LLC. You're watching this video because you have been chosen and have made one of the most important decisions in your life. You have decided to make your life more fulfilling by no longer just dreaming, but by waking up, making the plans, and taking the necessary action to turn those dreams into goals and therefore realities. We are the regular John and Jane Does, consumers, entrepreneurs, employees, business owners, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters who desire and strive to find those who think, feel, and act as we do. There's no need to look any further because we are here. We are not in Collective Minds LLC as a dating company, nor just a social network. We are Collective Minds LLC as students and teachers, as we assist one another in becoming the best we can be as individuals and collectively in our positive goals in life. Collective Minds LLC is comprised of a people who think, feel, and take the necessary actions to become the epitome of who they are as individuals, understanding that this individuality is the beginning structure of villages, neighborhoods, communities, and societies that stand through and against the trials, tribulations, situations, and circumstances together in order to become what is talked about, revered, and duplicated all over the world. History. Some of our events and programs, personal topics, community involvement, charity events, positive thinking, goal setting, patronizing our own, family topics, domestic violence, battered women and children, fatherhood fundamentals, beautiful mommy, effective communication, business topics, grant writing, marketing, networking events, cooperative business sponsorship. These are just a few of the areas that we will cover within Collective Minds LLC, or will be announced at a later time. Grant writing, classes and instructions, small business classes, domestic violence prevention, charity events, battered women and battered children prevention, fatherhood fundamentals, beautiful mommy, business networking events, picnics, elderly yard cleaning, snow removal, patronizing of one another's businesses and assistance, membership prizes, sponsorships, and marketing, to name a few. Please be advised that those who are and have been deemed effective by way of experience, certificates, degrees, etc., will be the ones handpicked to run certain programs in order that the program and or event will have the ultimate positive effect and outcome on everyone attending. Please also let it be known that Collective Minds LLC is not an association driven by neither political nor church purposes, meaning we will not hold our own religious services, nor are looking to become a religious nor political association. Everyone has the right to choose their own religion and political status. Again, welcome to Collective Minds LLC, history.